his son that was born unto him, whom Sarah bare to him, Isaac. And Abraham circumcised his son, being 8 days old, as the Most High had commanded him. And Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born unto him. And Sarah said, the Most High hath made me to laugh, so that all that hear will laugh with me. And she said, who would have said unto Abraham that Sarah should have given children suck? For I have borne him a son in his old age. And the child grew and was weaned. And Abraham made a great feast the same day that Isaac was weaned.
What does the word wean? Look up the word wean. I already know what the word means, but I want to go into the word. Now keep in mind, Sarah was 91. And it said in the scriptures that she was still fine at the age of, in her 90s. Men were still captivated by her beauty. And we're going to go back to that, man. We're going to live that full day. We're going to live forever.
Yeah, we're in the book of Genesis 21 and 8. This is from the Blue Letter Bible. The word there is gamal. Gamal for wean, which means to deal fully with, recompense, to deal out to, due to deal bountifully with, to recompense, repay, requite, to wean a child, to be weaned, to ripen, bear ripe, to give, to do, or to show anyone good.
Now, copy and paste the word wean. Copy and paste the word wean or wean, and go to dictionary and see what that means. Yeah, read it again.
All right, this is back in Genesis 21 and 8. It says, and the child grew and was weaned, and Abraham made a great feast the same day that Isaac was weaned.
All right, you got it, brother?
All right, we're in dictionary.com. The definition for wean is to accustom a child or young animal to food other than its mother's milk.
That's what I wanted. How old was Sarah at the time? 91 years old. So what does it mean to be weaned? That means he was sucking on her breast, milk out of her breast, and she was 91 years old. Okay, that gives you an idea of how we were living back in the ancient world and how this devil and messed up everything. All right? There was a thing on the news where they're saying that the fluoride, they said that the fluoride years ago in the 50s was Eustace Mullins had mentioned this in, they did a thing with Bobby Lee. This was back in the 90s. They were speaking about fluoridated water, and he went into the origins of that. And that was from that video called Murder by Injection. Okay? And he basically said back in the 50s, they had paid off this congressman because they had to get rid of this sodium fluoride. So what they did was they said, well, sodium fluoride is good for your kids' teeth. They'll never get cavities. Now, today's date was January 8th, 2011. It was yesterday. It was on the news, on the ticker tape, on CNN, and it said that they found that fluoride is messing the kids' teeth up. So they're saying we're gonna have to cut the fluoride down. And then they were saying, well, fluoride was supposed to be good for you. And then, you know what they said? Well, they had too much of a good thing. That just shows you that this man is a fucking devil, man. And the truth is coming out. But what Eustace Mullins said was that's why people have AIDS and people die from cancer, partially because of the fluoride in the drinking water. All right? And you're going to see the clip up anyway. Go ahead.
Back in Genesis 21 and 9. And Sarah saw the son of Hagar the Egyptian, which she had born unto Abraham, mocking. Wherefore she said unto Abraham, Cast out this bondwoman and her son, for the son of this bondwoman shall not be heir with my son, even with Isaac. And the thing was very grievous in Abraham's sight because of his son.
Yeah, because Abraham had feelings for Ishmael too. Sarah didn't have feelings for Ishmael because that wasn't of her flesh. So when she had that child, or which is Isaac, all right, she said, now I have my own son. Now I have a son that me and Abraham could call our own. So to hell with that bitch and her son, you know, we have a child. So that's showing you right there that further proof that Ishmael wasn't part of this thing. And Ishmael's not going to be sitting side by side with us in the kingdom of heaven. He's going to be under our boot right along with Esau and the rest of the nations. Okay? We don't is there a lot more to that that's pertinent? I guess that's the point. All right? Okay, now let's go from there to the book of Galatians, which goes hand in hand with Genesis, the 21st chapter. Galatians, the 4th chapter, the 21st verse to the 31st verse. All right, read on.
Galatians.
Because Paul speaks about the same thing. Go ahead.
Galatians chapter 4, verse 22. For it is written that Abraham had two sons, the one by a bondmaid, the other by a free woman. But he who was of the bondwoman was born after the flesh, but he of the free woman was by promise. Which things are an allegory, for these are the two covenants, the one from the Mount Sinai, which gendereth the bondage, which is Hagar. For this Hagar is Mount Sinai in Arabia, and answereth to Jerusalem, which now is and is in bondage with her children. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all. For it is written, Rejoice, thou barren that bearest not. Break forth and cry, thou that travailest not. For the desolate hath many more children than she that hath an husband. Now we brethren, as Isaac was, are the children of the promise. But as then he that was born after the flesh persecuted him that was born after the spirit, even so is it now. Nevertheless, what saith the scripture? Cast out the bondwoman and her son, for the son of the bondwoman shall not be heir with the son of the free woman. So then, brethren, we are not children of the bondwoman, but of the free.
And that's plain. So there's a difference right there. So these jakes in Babylon that embrace Islam, they have no understanding, man. They're not spiritual people. And basically, when you try to talk to them and make them understand it, they're not. Most of them is not going to wake up to it because they might have spent 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. You know, a nigga got full of pride, man. Niggas are full of pride. They're into something for X amount of years, and they find out that that ain't the right way to go. They'll stick to it because they invested so much of their time into it that they feel like they were suckered into something else. So a lot of niggas are into things because they've been into things so long that they don't want to change. So what's the outcome of these niggas? They're gonna have to die, man. Fuck these niggas that's into Islam, man. We ain't concerned about them. Let them die, man. My brother dropped dead. He's eating breakfast and slumped over and just dropped dead, man. His wife called me and I said, what else is new? You know, what you want me to do? You know? She was just expecting me to say this. So I said, man, that nigga was in Islam. I tried to tell the nigga Islam is not the right way. You an Israelite. The clown didn't want to hear it. The Most High zapped his ass. And a lot more of you niggas are going to be zapped. All right? And now let's go from there to the book of Jeremiah, the 2nd chapter, the 11th verse to the 21st verse. And I think this would be an appropriate time for you to get that chick publication ready, okay? Because we're going to read through that, and then we're going to go down to the highways and the byways, and we got a long list of scriptures, and we're going to continue this conversation on the truth on the highways and the byways, all right? The truth about or the truth concerning Islam. Go ahead.
Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 11. Hath a nation changed their gods, which are yet no gods?
Right, that's what Jake did. Jake became Christians. They became Roman Catholics. Some Jakes became free thinkers, what I call free stinkers. Jakes got into Islam. Jakes became, you got niggas out there that are actually warlocks and witches, man. You know? Jakes became morons, Mormons. Go ahead.
It says, but my people have changed their glory